The ubiquitous GoPro camera, helping Motorhead Garage document installs like a water methanol boost cooler, or just riding along with the boys.
I'm smelling something.
And capturing these rare moments is now made even easier with a reliable power source, your vehicle's battery.
Hey, welcome to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, Sam's not with us right now. He's on another project, but he's going to be with us in a few minutes. But how many of you folks out there have this little GoPro camera? I mean, people have it and they stick it anywhere and everywhere. The only problem is, depending on how you use it, it'll last anywhere from a half an hour to maybe an hour and a half. Well, we've got a remedy for that. We've got Don Blackwell here from 3BR Powersports, who's got a unique product that'll extend the life of these, at least the power of these little GoPro cameras. So welcome to the show, Don. Show us what you have.
3BR Powersports has historically been in the USB PowerPort market, and our claim to fame is that we're all weather all the time when a cable is plugged in. Nobody else can make that claim. We have our little patented tap cap that goes on a cable, and then it seals to the port, so you stay plugged in. In rainy weather, you have a vehicle like this, you're out in the dust, you can't leave the things open, they'll get completely trashed. So we're gonna go ahead and install this on the Razor.
Okay, Don, let's go ahead and get it installed.
All right. We've done a little bit of work ahead of time here to save a little bit of time. We've got the dash loose. One thing about the Razor, they're really easy to work in. We've got our location marked here, so all I have to do is drill a hole and get it installed. We like to use step drills because they pilot themselves as they go through. We need a 7/8 hole. Should do it.
I guess that's a 7/8 step drill, huh?
Yep, yeah.
Good thing. You went right to the bottom.
I didn't have to put a piece of tape or anything on there. Panel nut, we've got a lot of thread. We can go as long a panel as we want here. This will go through like in a boat. If you have a plywood panel, it'll work on that.
Now, these are not waterproof, they're weatherproof.
They're weatherproof, right. We like to make the distinction. A lot of people say waterproof, and they really aren't. These things will take heavy water wash down, so you can turn a hose on them, get it on a vehicle like this on a dusty day, and stay plugged in all the time as long as you have the tap cap cable that I showed you earlier. They were originally designed for the office environment, and we've converted them to be very rugged, so you can do things you could never dream of doing with them before, but there are some limitations. By the way, it is a finger nut. You don't need any tools to tighten it. We've designed the threads so they won't come loose. So that's installed. Now what we're gonna do, we've got this handy cigarette lighter wiring right here, so we're gonna just tap right into that. We use these tricky little Posi-Taps. They come in the kit. By the way, these are polarity protected internally, so you don't have to worry about getting them hooked up wrong. If you do get it hooked up wrong, it just won't work. Now, panel tap comes with 6 feet of wire, so you can wire it just about anywhere. We need about 6 inches, but I'm not going to cut and strip and do any of that right now. But what I will do is leave the tie wrap on it so we don't have a bunch of wire flopping around in there loose. Okay, we have our harness connected. It does have a fuse in it, but because your cigarette lighter is fused, if you want, you could actually cut the fuse right out of it. But we're going to leave it in there right now because it doesn't hurt anything. We've got a fancy waterproof Molex connector here, 2-pin connector that makes the connection. And there we have it, job done. That pretty much finishes the installation of panel tap. We could take time to put the dash back in, but that's all just standard stuff, no magic there.
Okay, Don, now that you got your power port there on the dashboard, you got these GoPros all over this little buggy here. How are you going to power them up?
Dave, that's where our tap universal mount USB power port comes in. That'll mount on just about any surface.
Oh, okay. Now I see you got your cover right here. Now this is flexible, isn't it? So you could mount this anywhere and it'll wrap around there, right?
Got it, or it'll go on a flat surface, either one.
Okay, now I'm going to mount that on there. You got a little alcohol pad here.
We put everything in the kit that you need, including the alcohol swab to clean the surface.
Okay.
Take a couple of seconds for that to dry.
Yep. Yeah. Now it's dry. Okay. Peel this off.
Now that's 3M VHB, very high bond tape. It'll stick to everything. And you got to make sure you have it where you want it, because once it's stuck for good.
It's there forever, right?
You got it.
Okay, and I want to make sure I got it on the inside there so we don't ever knock it off. Now I'm going to slide this through.
I'm going to do a little cable routing here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get it down on the general path right now. In the interest of time, we won't tie it down completely, but in a permanent installation, you're going to want to put some cable clips on here. Now, once we get down to the battery, I've done a little work ahead of time here. You can see I already have the negative connector, the cable off of here. When you're working on batteries, take negative off first and put it on last. So let's get the positive on here. And again, because our Powersports draw very, very low current when nothing's plugged in. All switching regulators draw some current, but ours are 0.4 milliamps, so you can connect directly to the battery without having to worry about discharging the battery when the vehicle's sitting alone.
Now I got a question here. You know, you got this little GoPro here that's all encased, plus you got a connector to this. So this has got like a weather-tight connector on that.
Right, that's got our patented tap cap.
Okay.
Weatherproof connection all the time.
And so we'll just plug that in like so.
Now you've got a full weatherproof connection from your GoPro camera all the way down to the battery. You can record as long as you've got memory.
That's pretty good. Now, what we were looking here, folks, you can see it's got little buttons here so you can control your camera. Plus, it has a port here where you can put in your weatherproof connector like so. Makes things a lot easier. And boy, I tell you, once you have these all lined up, you can have a lot of fun out in the weather, out in the desert, out in the mud, everything else. Anyway, Don, I want to thank you for stopping by. Folks, we got to take a short break. When we come back, we got more coming here on Motorhead Garage, so stick around.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories. AFE Power, innovative aftermarket solutions that deliver performance. VR12, ultimate cooling system protection. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, Dave and I got a great project we're working on today. This is a 2015 Ford F-150 4x4. Got the 3.5 liter EcoBoost motor in it, twin turbo. Now these engines, when they're cold, put out a lot of power. When they get hot and the charge temperature goes up, the computer starts pulling the timing back and they really become lazy. We got a fix for that. It's water methanol injection to cool the charge. We're going to use Snow Performance. They make a great kit. First thing I'm doing here is removing the drive-by-wire throttle body. And of course, they got everything you need in the kit to really make this truck perform. I'm going to let Dave tell you all about it.
Well, Simon's over here working on the truck. I got Matt Snow here with Snow Performance. And Matt, you've got your methanol water injection system here, and this concept he's using is not new. It's been around since World War II, but you've updated it with a lot of technology, haven't you?
We have. What we brought to it is modern mechanical components, but mainly modern electronics. This is the digital controller for the EcoBoost, and it runs off of two things, not just boost, but it modulates injection based on rail pressure as well. And so it's more correct for this truck where you don't get any of the flat spots or the misfiring. So it makes much smoother power.
Now, what's the concept of methanol water injection? What does it actually do?
We developed this about 14 years ago, and what it does is you spray a fine mist at certain times in the intake tract, and it cools the air charge that's going in the engine. And the other thing it does is it adds octane. So you get like a big intercooler with race gas at the same time. You can do a lot more for power in a vehicle like this.
So that gives you a lot more power. Now, the other part of this thing is your nozzles. Show us that.
This is a nozzle mounting plate for this vehicle. It's application specific, so you don't have to drill anything. And you just mount these nozzles in the plate, and you're all set to go. There's no cutting or hacking into your new truck. It makes it very easy to install.
Now, while he's installing that, something I want to point out here, folks, is when you get your system, first thing you want to do is open the box, lay everything out on your workbench like what we've done to make sure you have all the parts, and then sit down and spend a little time, go through the service manual here. You'll be glad you did. It'll answer a lot of questions and keep you out of trouble. How you coming on that?
Yeah, we're all set. She's all ready to install.
Let me run that over to Sam, and we'll get him going.
Thank you.
All right, bud, here you go. Now, don't drop it.
I won't, man. Thanks. Now, here's the neat part about this Snow Performance Kit. Again, no drilling. It's a plug-and-play bolt-in unit. This nice anodized machine throttle plate. This is where the nozzles are, where the injection is going to take place. There's a nice O-ring on it. If you look where the original throttle body sealed up against the intake plenum here, it had a silicone ring. So you're not dealing with gaskets. Now you're going to need some longer bolts. They come in the Snow Performance Kit. Slide right through there. Let me tell you this throttle body. This is a drive-by-wire throttle body. All the new cars have them. It's got a bidirectional DC motor with a set of gears, opens and closes it. When you're doing this or whenever you're cleaning the throttle body, don't take your finger and push it open and close. You'll destroy the DC motor. Now, these things can be $800 or more, so you don't want to do that. So I'll go ahead and install this, and I'm going to go the flat side to the O-ring, and then the throttle plate up against that. And a little tricky with the hoses and stuff here. I'll go ahead and put this in, and Dave can show you some of the other things that go along with this kit.
What Sam's talking about right here, that is the tank for the juice. Tell me about this.
That's the 3-quart that comes in the system. For this install, we're going to use the stock windshield washer reservoir, so this will be an extra part for us.
Okay, and that reservoir is much larger, so you can hold a lot more juice with it, and you can still use that on your windshield as well.
Yeah, fluids are similar, so you wash your windshield with the same fluid you inject with. And the 5 quarts is plenty for multiple tanks.
Okay, and that'll come with a kit. Now, this is your pump, too. Now, Sam's already installed that. We got a spare here we wanted to show you. Tell me about that.
The pump was developed for our commercial truck division. It features heat sinks to pull heat. It's designed to run all day without overheating and still provide 300 PSI.
Okay, Matt, now, one other component on this everybody likes to see is the wiring harness. Show me that.
Well, our new systems have a integrated wiring harness that features weather-tight connectors. There's no wiring involved with the system now, which makes install much easier. Complete with our controller, you just plug it in and go.
That makes it a whole lot easier, and I suspect Sam might be getting close to being ready for this, so let me get this over to him.
Okay, the next step is we hook up the lines that deliver the methanol to the nozzles. These are high-temperature nylon. They're not going to get soft in high underhood temperatures. You need a ground wire. Go right to the battery source when you can, and you'll notice I have the ground cable disconnected. That prevents arcing when you're working on the positive post. You got the controller on the steering column. That's where you'll do all the programming and read everything. All I have to do now is put these air cleaner tubes all back on, button it up, and we'll be ready to run it. Well, Matt, I got it all buttoned up. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like. There you go. Even the chimes like us, huh?
Yeah, it's got plenty of chimes.
It sounds pretty good, you know, but we got a brand new chassis dyno. I'd love to take this thing down, and you know, your kit, you could add up to 30 horsepower with water methanol injection. If you have a tuner, where can you go with that?
Well, we've seen over 60 horse gain on top of what the tuner will give you with water meth. It just cools everything down and makes it run cold, even when it's heat soaked.
That's great. We need to take a quick break. Stick around. When we get back, we'll be down in the dyno room.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Low Car Performance Products, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, we're down here in our dyno, and you can see we got the Mustang on here that we've been using to test it out to get it all set up.
That's right. This is a brand new dyno facility, still a work in progress. We got our lights in. You know, when they install this dyno, it's neat because this Dynocom dyno sits on the floor, and you don't have to dig, you know, a big cavern to put it in.
Exactly. This is a 4-wheel drive dyno too, so you can have it set up for 2-wheel drive like we have with the Mustang, or 4-wheel drive if you want to do it that way.
Sure, it's for different size trucks and that kind of stuff. The neat part is when they installed it, they do it right, they level it all up. There's a lot of calibration that goes on, so it's professionally installed, give you good, accurate results.
All right, well, the Mustang is heading out the door, so we're going to be able to bring in the pickup truck, and in the meantime, I got another project I got to work on, Sam, so you and Matt are going to have to handle it.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I thought you would.
All right, now we've got our F-150 here up on the dyno. Got it all strapped down, got our photo pickup for the tax sensor so we can know what the engine RPM is. You know, buddy, we're ready to make a run. And we're going to run this first time with the water methanol injection hooked up and ready to go. You're looking for some pretty good horsepower out of this. What do you think we'll make?
You know, I'm looking for 60 or 80.
Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to close the door. I'm going to step back and let you have the pleasure of firing this thing up, running it, Let's have a really good dyno pull.
Let's see what we got.
Okay. Well, we got the horsepower and torque results of our first run. You always want to do a couple of runs. We do another run here, buddy, and see what we got. You ready?
Let's do a comparison.
All right, we've got our results now, and you know, it's amazing. The base run, stock truck, at the rear wheels is 252 horsepower. That's pretty impressive for a V6 truck.
Oh, yeah. And 305 with the water meth. That's 53 horse.
Excellent. 53 horsepower game with water methanol. Okay, and we got, look at almost a 50 foot-pound of torque.
And that's what you're going to feel when you tow is that torque. That'll make a difference.
You know, the water methanol injection is keeping that air charge temperature cool, keeping the timing up. It's a great way to make your truck have great power for towing and so on. And of course, having this Dynocom dyno. This Dynocom dyno just verifies everything we do.
It turned out great.
Yep. So it's a great way to check things out when you've done some performance tuning. And look at this torque curve, how level it is too. That's the other thing. Not so much how much torque, but where you get it and how long it makes it. If you don't have a dyno, you should get one. If you can't afford one, take it to someone that's got a good one.
Time now for the industry update.
Hey guys, I got something for you, especially if you have a motorcycle. Now, what are you going to do when you go to, let's say, Bike Week? You want to tow your bike down. Well, this is what you need right here. This is called the Porta Chopper. Now, what makes it unique is if you get down to the bike show, what are you going to do with your trailer? Well, you can stow it. Now, let me show you about this. Here on the back, you can see you got nice big taillights here to give you extra protection. Come up here, you got a nice kickstand pad right here. Got a torsion axle, so you got good suspension on this for better handling. Got a fully adjustable wheel stop. This will adjust 16 inches to get the best weight distribution on it. Now, the important thing about Porta Chopper is it'll come apart. No piece on it is more than 44 pounds or longer than 48 inches, so you don't need any tools on it. What you do is you take these pins out that you see. You can stow this all in the trunk of your car. You'll have room for your suitcase and everything else. Has a good option package with it as well. You can get fenders, extra wide channel here in the back. They'll take up a 12.5-inch wide wheel, and you can get your high-speed 12-inch tires on this thing. For you guys with motorcycles, you want to tow it, this is the way you go. It's the Porta Chopper. Check out their website.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Easy Slide, bringing it to you. Checkered Flag Tires, tires and balance beads to your door. 4tire.com. In other words, we've got what you need. And by Evapo-Rust, super safe rust remover.
It sure is nice having our own dyno.
You know, not a lot of guys have that, but boy, you can do a lot with it. A lot of things you can figure out.
You know, I'm smelling something and hearing something.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was you.
Thank you. I think it's something going on in the exhaust system. What we need to do...
I don't know, something's burned.
Pull over here and let's get out and get underneath. Take a look at this before we get all the way back.
Yeah, well, who's going to crawl under? Your truck, baby.
Oh, thanks.
You can crawl under it. I'll walk.
Count on you. I knew I could count on you. Let me get over here off the road.
It does smell, though. I can smell it.
All right, buddy. Come on, let's get out.
Check this thing out here. Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, Sam and I are coming back from the dyno, and we smelled something here under the truck. Hey, you got a blanket or something back there we could put under here?
Wait till you see what I got, buddy. I got one for me and one for you.
What?
What I have here is the Magic Creeper.
The Magic Creeper.
This is a creeper. The race guys use it in the pits all the time.
All right, what does it do?
Well, it's lightweight, folds up, you store it anywhere. All you do is you unravel it in the direction you want to go. Watch out, I'm gonna get underneath here. All right, set this down, just roll it out.
Yeah.
Okay, the wrinkles out of it. Look, it's got this really slick fabric here. It moves within itself.
Oh, it's kind of like a track.
Watch this. Watch this, this is great. You sure you don't want to get under my truck?
No, no.
Okay. You're gonna make me do it.
Well, it's your truck. You broke it, not me.
Look at this, and it rolls right underneath here.
I'll be darned. Cool, yeah, you could use that for a lot of other things.
Even you could have found this.
What'd you find under there?
I got a pinion seal. It's leaking differential fluid, and it's slinging it up on my boiler exhaust here. It's smelling, that's what we're smelling.
Well, it looks like we got another job ahead of us.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what's cool about that? I mean, you know, if you're out alongside the road like we are, and you need to change a tire or something like that, you can lay this thing down. It's a nice mat so you don't get dirty.
Keeps you dry.
And for you guys at home, you know, you got your own garage, you don't have a creeper, you got to lay down and get under the truck or car.
Also, if you have a little clearance problem, it works great.
About that.
Because this thing is zero off the floor, works on floors. It's a great product. You can double as a stadium seat, keep you warm. And I'll tell you the other thing I've used this for. Put it in the back of your pickup truck, and you can slide heavy objects in and out.
And you could use it at home too. If you want to put something on there, you got to move furniture or whatever it is, then we could do that too.
Yep, it's rugged. You roll it up.
But you're so kind, I can't believe you got one for me.
Happy Father's Day. Oh, wait, well, you're not a father. Give me that back.
Anyway, I'll tell you what, the Magic Creeper, it's a heck of a thing to have. And you know, you put it in your car, put it in your truck, carry it with you just like you did.
One other thing, when you're hooking up a trailer on a wet day, throw it on the ground, you hook up your trailer, your lights, your safety chains, then, you know something? You don't have wet knees.
That's a good deal. Okay, folks, well, we've run out of time once again. We'll see you again next time here at Motorhead Garage.